Okay, so get ready, because today we are diving into the wild world of, you guessed it, YouTube comments.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
going beyond those perfectly edited videos, the ones with the fancy B-roll and the whole 9 yards,
Right.
to uncover the raw, sometimes messy drama unfolding in the comments section.
I love it.
We are talking about some serious digital drama.
Buckle up.
Our source material for this deep dive is a video from Storybird Films, and let me tell you, the title itself is a whole story. Did I ever ask you to be my girlfriend?
Ooh, that's juicy.
Talk about setting the stage for some relationship turmoil, right?
Definitely.
And let's just say the comment section does not disappoint.
I bet.
We found this one comment that really stood out, and it just perfectly captures the essence of this whole deep dive.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to read it verbatim.
Okay. Hit me with it.
Did I ever ask you to be my girlfriend? Well, come on. It's the
For-
ultimate mic drop moment in this relationship saga.
It's amazing how much these little snippets, these digital breadcrumbs can reveal about how we relate to each other and how we communicate, especially when it comes to something as complex as relationships.
Absolutely. So let's break down this comment thread and see what we can learn.
Okay, let's do it.
The first quote that really caught my eye starts with, "So I'm sorry. What's your take on this?"
So I'm sorry. It's interesting, right?
It is.
But what's really fascinating to me is what we don't see the context. We're dropped right into the middle of this conversation.
Yeah, we are.
No idea what happened before this apology, no idea what led up to it, and it really makes you think about how much we miss when we're only seeing these fragments of online interactions.
It's like trying to solve a puzzle with half the pieces missing.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder, do we ever really get the full story online?
Right, or is it always just a carefully curated version of the truth?
That's a deep thought for a YouTube comment section.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so moving on. The response to this, "So I'm sorry," is even more intriguing. It starts with, and I quote, "Oh dear Tina."
Oh boy.
The condescension is dripping from the screen, and then it takes a turn. "You see, your friend Abby stinks."
Wow, that's pretty harsh.
It is right.
Not only is that language disrespectful, but it also feels very deliberate, like an attempt to isolate Tina from her friend Abby.
You think it's manipulative?
It definitely raises some red flags.
Because, trying to control who someone spends time with, that's a classic tactic we see in manipulative relationships.
Absolutely. It's all about eroding someone's support system, making them dependent on the manipulator.
And then there's the whole gaslighting aspect to consider, too, making someone doubt their own reality.
Oh, for sure. Gaslighting is incredibly insidious because it's so subtle, it can really mess with someone's sense of self over time.
And it's often hard to recognize when it's happening to you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a slow poison.
Hmm.
Okay, so to make things even more complicated, he then brings up this whole brother-sister dynamic,
Wait, really?
even though Tina explicitly states, "I'm not your sister."
So why bring it up?
It feels like a power play to me, trying to establish this familial role that somehow puts him in a position of authority.
Like he's trying to justify his behavior by framing the relationship in a way that maybe bypasses the need for consent.
Exactly. It's like he's saying, "I can say these things to you because I'm like your brother."
Which is really problematic because healthy relationships, whether they're familial or romantic, are built on mutual respect and clear boundaries.
And that's something everyone should remember, regardless of what's happening in the YouTube comment section.
Totally.
I mean, this whole exchange, just a few lines of text, reveals so much about the complexities of communication and power dynamics, especially online, where it's so easy to hide your true intentions.
It's the perfect example of how the internet can amplify these kinds of behaviors. It's easier to be manipulative or aggressive when you're hiding behind a screen.
And it's easier to misinterpret things, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Tone and body language, they're all lost in text.
So much gets lost in translation.
It's like we're all speaking different languages online.
And speaking of misinterpretations and hidden dynamics,
Yeah.
we've only scratched the surface of this comment thread. There's so much more to unpack.
I know, right?
But it's a perfect example of how much we can learn by really paying attention to these online interactions, even the ones that seem mundane or trivial.
Absolutely.
So the next time you're scrolling through comments on YouTube or anywhere else online, take a moment to think about the power dynamics at play. Who's trying to control the narrative? Who's being silenced? You might be surprised by what you discover.
It's like being a digital detective. You know, looking for those clues, those subtle hints that tell a bigger story.
And sometimes those stories, the ones that aren't being explicitly told, are the most important ones to hear.
Because they can teach us so much about the human condition, about the ways we connect and disconnect with each other.
That's a beautiful way to put it, and I think it's the perfect note to end on.
Yeah.
We've had an amazing time dissecting this YouTube comment thread, and we hope you've enjoyed the ride.
Me too.
Remember, folks, the internet is a fascinating and complex place, and there's always more than meets the eye.
Keep your eyes peeled.
And your mind's open. Until next time,
Bye, everyone.
happy commenting.